Good morning, evening, or afternoon. My name is Truman Lark Washburn. I call myself the chairman of the Collectivist People's Party. It's a political organization that I founded yesterday um, about liberating people from oppression that I see everywhere. In practice, I am a socialist, a rare and feared breed in the United States of America, in which I currently reside. Socialism has been a much talked about subject in recent times uh, in news circles, Fox News, places like that. Um, Usually, it's talked about in terms of fear associated with socialism slash communism in the People's Republic of China, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, Yugoslavia, Albania, Eastern Europe, what have you. Um, and I've come to the conclusion that people consistently associate socialism with tyranny, that it has no good aspects, or if it has good aspects, they're unworkable, is the stance taken by Tea Partiers, or even very well educated folk who just have been raised to fear and hate socialism, since it's continually been the opposition to the American way is socialism. For every reaction, there must be an equal and opposite reaction, and the reaction to American capitalism is Chinese Soviet socialism. Um, a few points about socialism that I would like to make. One, the definition of socialism is ism, which is a philosophy, and social, a social philosophy, focusing on the well-being of society. Socialism first arose in the mid 1800s as a reaction to the Industrial Revolution, to the 10-year-olds laboring away in coal mines and dying, or the match girls who worked with the phosphorus and the ends of their fingertips would fall off. These excesses of what was free market capitalism at the time, classic liberalist idea of free market capitalism. And socialism arose not because they wanted to stop this progress, stop industrial progress. Far from it. They loved progress, but they just wanted to see progress towards a nicer future. Progress that considered society as well as just industry and the wealthy. Um, the first socialist state that arose was in 1917 with the Russian Revolution. Awful, horrible, bloody mess that produced an awful, horrible, bloody state. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, which was officially founded in 1922, I forget the exact date. Um, and for the first 2 years of its establishment, it was led by Vladimir Lenin, who was the second big proponent of communism after Marx and sort of Engels. Marx believed in this total abolition of capitalism. No business, no private property, no nothing. Everything to be communally owned, produced, whatever. And his belief was that industrial workers would just arise spontaneously on their own and overthrow capitalist nations. And Lenin's contribution to the communist philosophy is that he believed that workers weren't going to do that. There needed to be a vanguard revolutionary party. Um, and classic Marxists accuse Lenin of creating another oppressing class, which he very much did. I mean, the Communist Party in the Soviet Union threw out the czarist establishment and rich, wealthy not church members, church bishops and whatever, threw out the old Russian establishment and just slapped another one that was just as repressive to the people on top of it. And although conditions did improve from czarist days, they only improved by about that much. Things were very bad in the Soviet Union for its entire period of existence. I mean, it went from Lenin, who founded the Cheka and who killed whites or counter-revolutionaries by the million, 3 million Chekists. I mean, the Cheka killed 3 million Mensheviks, is the term. Then, after his death, there was kind of a uneasy power-sharing agreement between Leon Trotsky and Joseph Stalin. And eventually Stalin was able to turf out Trotsky and later had him murdered when he was living in Mexico City. Um, Stalin then took over, and we all know about Stalin's crimes. Just a quick run over: 30 million dead in the Ukrainian famine, 20 million dead as a result of appeasement policies towards the Nazis, hundreds of thousands killed in massacres in eastern Poland during the Soviet takeover there, and then during the Red Army's liberation of Eastern Europe, rapes, murders, massacres, all were very, very common. Um, Stalin died in 1953, then was followed by Khrushchev, who was better, and he made some capitalist reforms. And I think if they had gone kind of the Khrushchev line, the Soviet Union would still exist, but it would look like today's China, capitalist boom under the guise of socialism. But they didn't follow Khrushchev's line. Khrushchev got kicked out by Brezhnev, who was a hardcore Stalinist, and the economy stagnated under Brezhnev as the Soviets spent all their money building up military weapons, uh, ICBMs, that sort of thing. And then after Brezhnev came someone whose name I can't remember, but he only lasted 2 months. And then after him came Gorbachev. And Gorbachev was responsible for the dissolution and liberalization of the Soviet Union, which was just as disastrous as its creation, resulting in a skyrocketing death rate, skyrocketing poverty, because these people had been state raised their entire lives, and suddenly, boom, everything went to hell in a handbasket. In other countries where socialism was established, or communism, but communists called their system building socialism, which I take umbrage with because I don't think classic communism, Marxist, Leninist theory is at all socialism. My belief is that socialism allows for capitalism. In fact, it really loves small scale capitalism, like local businesses, because those enable people to empower themselves and to create friendly, community based organizations. Socialism does, however, attack large scale capitalism or large scale industry. That socialists believe should be under the command of the state or the workers, whoever. Basically, it shouldn't be owned by any one private concern. It should be a public concern for major industries like the high technology industry, automobile industry, any heavy or any industry really, excluding like small machine shops that would fit into the category of small businesses. Um, so where my party comes in, the Collectivist People's Party, is the is in the field of socialist thought, not communist thought, however. We're certainly not communists. We do support the creation of voluntary communes, but we don't believe that's the way that everyone's going to live, nor do we encourage everyone to live that way. We really encourage small scale private business, but we frown on corporations because we believe that much wealth in the hands of one individual is wrong, because wealth in our modern society has become power. And like I think this is Thomas Jefferson's, but I may be wrong. Sorry if I'm misattributing it. But he once said, "Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely." And our goal, well, our position is that corporations have this absolute amount of wealth, and that wealth corrupts them. Like, we think, I personally think, and I believe the party is with me on this, is that corporations hide behind the guises of social responsibility programs and then get away with whatever they want. Like Ronald McDonald House buys tons of beef from bad industries that have all sorts of corruption all over them. They're the people who are cutting down the rainforests and using Brazilian slave labor to cut down the rainforest so they can build their cattle ranches and stuff. I mean, that's the kind of beef that McDonald's buys. But then McDonald's has things like the Ronald McDonald House, which are these charity organizations, and they say, look what we're doing. We're being so nice. But so the Ronald McDonald House, interestingly enough, is for the parents or relatives of terminally ill children or seriously ill children. But a leading cause of severe childhood illness nowadays is morbid obesity. And you have to wonder, what contributes to that? Certainly it can't be McDonald's. No, 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 no. I mean, it's kind of interesting that these people set up a charity to support the relatives of people that they hurt. And I mean, the charity doesn't outweigh their bad actions. They don't suddenly get away because they've done a social responsibility program. Um, wow. Sorry, I've been rambling for way, way too long. Probably you're bored out of your mind. But that was just a quick little ramble education about socialism. I may do another one of these videos, not sure. So, anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Sorry for taking your time.